What's up, everybody? Did you miss me? uh, well, let's hope everything is going like it's supposed to be. Let's hope everything is going like. Your vault keeper's a little rusty at doing this right here. I think it'll be all right though. Oh. Okay, we're just waiting just for a second so we can get into everything we need to get into. Doing this a little differently than what a second so we can get into everything we need to get into. Doing this a little differently than we should be live. I can't see any chat, so we should be live. I can't see any chat, so I'm not in my usual setup at the vault. Not in my usual setup. All right, let me check to see if we're live. Make sure everything's working like it's supposed to be. And then we're going to start. Yeah, it says we're live, y'all. Up and personal. Hold on. Oh, shit. All right, let's see if we got this fixed now. That should be better. Why in the world that did what it did? I've been talking to myself, y'all, because this damn thing didn't go public. There we go. That did what it did. Been talking to myself, y'all, because this damn thing didn't go public. All right, now we can get started, everybody. Although I'm still the only one here. All right, now we can get started, everybody. Here. Now we can get started, everybody. Boy, I am rusty doing this. Boy, wasn't that nice? This stupid thing just gave me. I am rusty doing this. This thing just gave me my own light. Yeah. All right. All right, I was just making sure I was live. I couldn't hear nothing, and I'm accidentally hitting wrong buttons and the whole 9 yards. I love it. It's a typical live stream. Let's just see. I will. All right, come here. Let me see my chat. All right. There we go. All right. Well, we got it up and going. Now let's just see if this goes the way I wanted it to. Hold on 1 second. I am rusty at this. All right. Well, I tweeted it and everything else, so. Yeah, I don't know. Can y'all hear me? Hello. Well, it says I'm broadcasting, so we're going to leave it at that. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I figured this first live stream was going to be a little rocky. What the hell? There we go. 5 watching. Who we got in here? I'm waiting on DW, but I'm late. He's late. Everybody's late. Vamp, can you hear me? Oh, yeah, it'll be all right. Well, I had a. This is what happens when Vault plans stuff. I know y'all aren't late. Look, you got to go back and listen to this afterwards. It probably recorded it. I spent probably 10 minutes talking to myself trying to figure out where's my chat. When now you can actually start a live stream and have it on private and it doesn't publish. It used to not do that. And I'm sitting here talking. I'm like, where's my chat? And I figured out, oh, it says you can't chat because you're not public. So yeah, this is gonna be one of them fun ones. Everybody can get to laugh. Hee hee ha ha. Now, Vamp, did you get to go watch the new video? You funny, Lakay. Alright. Well, anyway, I was trying to find out if y'all. There's 9 people in here. I got some lurkers. Who's the lurkers? Come on. Don't be scared. It's only me. I might bite because hell I ain't ate yet. I knew there was something I forgot to do. Hold on 1 second. This stupid thing is going haywire. Okay. All right, now. God dang it. I'm doing every little rookie thing wrong that you can do wrong. Not using my regular headset, and this thing's got a little mic button on it, and I done hit the mic, and I'm talking to myself. There's no problem, Luna. It's been a lot of people's first time. Now, I got to get everything. Hey, everybody. I got to get everything reset. I've been away from the vault for a while, but vacation time is over. Uh, Took a little hiatus, not because of anything major, whatever. I just sometimes I get like that. Uh, I wanted to add to some of the stuff that I thought I knew, and that's the biggest thing here. As soon as you think you get Bigfoot figured out, he throws a monkey wrench in, like the little video I found. I've never seen that in the woods before. As long as I've been in the woods, I've never come across that, where it looks like they bent it over and chewed on it, gnawed on it. I'm not exactly sure what did that, why it did it. Wasn't there to see it, but I was informed that there's some more now that wasn't there that are there now. Uh, there's some loggers that are logging that area. That's how I got in to find it, is because I was called in by them because of a lot of weird, strange occurrences. Now, this land that this logging crew is logging, nobody really goes on it. Nobody's been there for a while, and I guess them out there cutting trees and all the equipment running, they got something curious. I don't know if it stays there permanently or it was just brought in by the noise. Now, I can't say what chewed on that tree. I know what the signs are around the area that I found, what it looks, excuse me, what it looks like. It looks like Bigfoot activity. Uh, but like I said, the man that owns the logging crew was out there checking his stuff today, and because they've been off for a while, and he called me and informed me that there were some more of those chewed up trees. So I've got to get ready and head back that way. It takes me a little while to get there, but I've got access from meeting him and getting in with him. I've got access to several thousand acres now that I didn't have access to, and a couple of unique, weird stories. Now, we're talking to guys that live in the woods. They make their living in the woods every day. So, I'm talking about from stories of uh, bear that are not supposed to be in states that there's bears, to just people showing up, and then when you go out to where they are, they're not there. Now they've done clear cut this area. You're talking about 20 foot area, a 20 foot piece of 20 foot. I mean, 20 acres that is being clear cut. There's clearly nowhere this person can go. They're just standing out there in the amongst everything, and they go out there towards the person to see. It's usually they said an old lady, or it looks like an old lady, and by the time they get there, it's just like they disappeared as fast as they appeared. Wow, we got 12 people in here already. Thank y'all. I know a lot of y'all have been telling me that y'all missed the live streams, and y'all been anticipating them coming back. And like I said, I did this impromptu live stream because y'all asked for it. I know there's several other videos that y'all have asked for. Y'all have asked for the second part of Return to Booger Valley. It's in the works. I've got to redo everything because while I've been out, I had my computer with me that had that story on it. My superior intellects, for some reason, did not back it up. And that computer met a tragic end. So I had to redo that whole thing. And it will be coming out. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be soon because I don't know exactly when, because I've got a whole bunch of stuff going on. A lot of people, one guy asked for the second part of the hunting trip, and I want to apologize. I did not realize I never released the second part, and I've got to go find it to release it. So, all right, me and this mic's going to fight because it keeps muting me. I'm sitting here talking and nothing coming out. There we go. Let's see here. What's going on over here in the chat? Let me go back and read. Yeah, if you're new to chat, let me know you're new. And if I don't give you a shout out here right now, I will come back and give you a shout out later on, or however I can do that. And thank you for coming. Trying to go back and look. I'm an old school fogey now, so I can't read and talk at the same time. Now I can walk and shoot, but I can't walk, talk, and do everything at the same time. And I don't have my trusted librarian in the same building where I am right now. Yeah, she never reads chat. Now I want to let y'all know, if you're new here, I don't run a tight ship. We run kind of a mediocre ship. We try to have fun. That's why we're doing this. That's another reason why I kind of left it for a while, because it got to where it wasn't fun. It got to where it was more like going to a 9 to 5, and I got stagnant, and I had to go get my head clear. And when I go do what I do, that's me. Like I said, I've been out doing research. I've went and reconnected with old friends and people that I've talked to for years. I've made new ones and found interesting stuff, and been having fun. And I think that y'all are gonna like some of the stuff that is coming down. Now I'm fixing to lean more to doing the videos like you just saw in the last show I put out. I am going to do my stories But like I said, I'm gonna be doing more investigative, bringing it to you. Uh, I just I'm trying to do something different that nobody else is doing. It, I get tired, everybody gets tired of seeing and watching the same thing over and over and over again. Well, yeah, I know y'all told me to tell y'all ahead of time, and you know me, I run by the seat of my pants. Like I said, I'm wanting to reconnect with all our family members and friends and have ourselves a ball. See what nobody knows, because in the background, during the time that we've been gone, me, Lakea, and Vamp, we've met, talked, had fun, drug the girls around for a little while, and and went out on some investigations. And I want to tell you something. I have never seen camouflage look better on two women. But we got some interesting stuff coming down the pipe. Some stuff that is unique. I don't want to give everything away, because if you do that, I don't figure it out on YouTube, that can hurt you or that can help you, because people love to copy. I don't mind people copying me, but I don't want to give my ideas out, and then it spoils it because I have a certain way I want to do it, and then somebody else copies it, and I feel like, well, now it looks like I'm copying them. So I'm not going. I got some secrets coming, and I hope you like it. Whoa, let's see. Well, that's our buddy Darkwaters. He'll be joining us here shortly. We're gonna see if we can't get him to tell a couple of his stories. I'd like to tell a little story. Would y'all like to hear a little story on one of the investigations that recently well, recent to me, but it's probably a couple months old. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he'll be here. Don't know. I hope I'm unmuted. Can y'all hear me? Put a put a one in if you can hear me. Hello. It says I'm broadcasting. Okay, everybody can hear me. It's this mic. It's got a damn little mute button on it, and it keeps hooking on my collars and everything else. All right. It's 69, 69. See there, see that. That's what I have to deal with when I carry the girls out. Let's see, which story do I want to tell y'all? It's story time with Vault. Well, let's see. Oh, I know what I can tell you. I can tell y'all the one about the feral people. Yeah. That was an odd one. Well, I got a call from a guy that was having chickens and stuff like that go missing on his little farm. I'm talking about he had chicken. Well, I say little. It's a small poultry farm that he does. What do you call that? Organic, like eggs, and he had organic milk, stuff like that. Well, something was coming in and taking his chickens and messing with his eggs from the chickens, and I think a calf, if I remember right, came up missing. And that's when I got called in. He thought at first it was like foxes, coyotes. Hold on. He thought it was something like that until the calf come up missing. And he told me he found foot tracks, barefoot, like you don't have a shoe on, tracks. And he lives pretty good way. Look, his driveway to his house is almost a mile long from where you get off the main road to drive to his house, and then he's got it from his house back through the woods, his property, and his animals and all that stuff. Well, and there's nobody out. It's just him out there by himself. He's widowed. Oh, hey, Dark. Hey, Dark. Okay. Okay. I know I heard somebody. Oh, yeah, that's Mr. Dark. Uh, can you hear me, Dark? Good. I cannot hear you. Your mic's not muted, is it?
You're damn right it was muted. My bad, man.
Oh, that ain't no problem. Look, dude, this stupid dang mic that I got here that I'm using, because I'm not using my regular mic. I done muted myself and been talking to myself like 4 times, and couldn't nobody hear me. The better one was when I started live. I'm sitting here talking, and I'm trying to figure out why ain't the chat popping up stuff. My ignorant tail forgot to make it public. It was a private damn show I had going, and couldn't nobody even see it.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me get us some people in here.
All right.
What I want to know is, what can you talk about? That was epic. What can you talk about? That was epic. Woo, that was epic. Let's see. How do I get to?
Dude, you made me almost suck my cigarette down. Oh shit. Well, I'm not gonna mention nothing, and then I can't talk about it. So we've got that here. We don't do that here. If we mention it, we can talk about it. That's like I was telling them the story about the feral people that I came up on several months back. Where I had to go out where a guy was having some of his livestock and stuff. Lakay, can you talk about it? I'm not going to say, people, what the inside joke on that is. If you don't pay attention to the community, it probably will come out soon. That's just all men.
Oh no, it's coming, baby. Don't worry, it's coming. It's gonna come out with a remix. It's coming. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna make sure you hear it. Trust me.
I don't want to spoil it for the people. But like I said, I was called out to this property, and I asked the guys, like, well, he told me what he was going on. I was like, well, that sounds like just regular wildlife animals. That you live far enough back in the woods, you're gonna have coyotes, you're gonna have foxes, and wild dogs, everything else come in, steal chickens and eggs. He said, well, no. He said, somebody came in and led one of my cows out. I said, what do you mean by somebody? He said, well, I found tracks. I said, okay, did you call the sheriff? He said, yeah, the sheriff come out here, looked around, couldn't find nothing. As soon as the tracks in the mud, they can't, that was it for them. They don't know what happened. and it looked like they just let them off into the woods. I said, okay. I said, well, give me a little while, a couple of days. I'm gonna look around, see what I see, and if there's something here, I'll see if I can't find it. If if I find your cow, I'll bring it back to you. This is an older gentleman. I'm talking about, he's in his 80s. Like I said, he's an older fella. So I go get all my gear, get it on. I go out there, and now the tracks are gone because it's been a while. And I'm looking around the edge of the woods, and I come across a foot track at the edge of the woods. I'm talking about, it's probably it's an average size track. That's what threw me off at first. It doesn't look like a Bigfoot track. It looks like a human track. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's because of the way it shifted in the mud, or it was just because that could be a juvenile track in a Bigfoot, but the foot shape didn't look like Bigfoot. The Bigfoot's got more of kind of a blocky looking foot. This looked just like you took an average grown man and took his shoe off and had him step down. So I go through and I start looking around, and the more I find, it's showing up human sign, not Bigfoot sign. So I take off. Now, this man owns a good bit of acreage, and then he backs up to a National Wildlife Federation property that is reserve. It's not where you can go in and hunt. It's they got some endangered, I think it's turtles or something there. Turtles or frogs or something, and they don't allow you to hunt. You're not allowed to drive. If you go on this place, you have to walk. Now, you can go on it, but you just can't disturb nothing. Well, I start finding where it looks like somebody's made makeshift shelters and fire pits and stuff like that. And I decided I'm going to just camp out. And I camp out the first night. Well, I start having pebbles thrown at me. Now, that's Bigfoot activity. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I've done drawed in a Sasquatch, or maybe I'm just off, and it is Bigfoot. Then I heard a cough, like a, and you could barely make out muttering. Well, I just laid there and I played like I was still asleep. Then you could actually hear words. And I've heard the Bigfoot murder and stuff like that. Now, this sounded like this was two humans talking. This wasn't Bigfoot. This was two humans. And I'm thinking, I got some poachers. That's what this is poachers. Well, I lay there, like I said, I'm still acting like I'm asleep. And it sounds like one of them came into the camp. That's when I decided, I opened my eyes up and rolled over. And as I roll over and come up, I draw a weapon. And when I draw the weapon, there's a guy with, he needed some TLC. I'll put it to you that way. He didn't look like no thing you see off of the movies where he's got long hair. Look like he ain't no caveman, but he, like I said, he needed some TLC. His clothes were dirty and all this kind of stuff. And the first thing I did was ask him, "What are you doing? What do you want?" His eyes were as big as a deer's eyes caught in the headlights. And all he does is say, "We're not here to hurt you." What do you mean, we? That's the first thing that hit me, is we. Now, I don't see but one. We means there's more than one. And as he's talking and saying that, and I'm sitting there looking at him like I said, I have a weapon pointed at him. All he was doing was going after the pack where I kept my MREs and stuff like that. And I kind of told him to lower the bag. I lowered my weapon down. I didn't put it down, but I quit pointing it at him. It's pointed now down towards the ground in his general direction. And I said, "What are you doing out here?" And he proceeds to tell me they live there. I said, "What do you mean you live here?" They live there. They've always lived there. Their families lived there for generations, and they don't want to be bothered. And we kind of started having a little conversation, go back and forth, and to find out they led the cow away. It was two teenagers, boys. they had good intentions, but they didn't mean to take anything that would harm anybody. But like I said, they didn't think that this old man would miss one cow, and they were the ones coming up, stealing his eggs and stealing his chickens, and basically just being a pest. And the reason why I'm telling this story is to let people know. I try to let people know, just because you find a track, or you find some hair, or you hear something or see something odd in the woods, doesn't mean it's always Bigfoot. That annoys me when people, the first thing they do is jump to it's Bigfoot. I probably have went on, in the last 30 days, I've probably went on 5 Bigfoot investigations. I found just a little bit of sign at one of them. I say probably the story didn't go like people wanted it to, but I just wanted to let people see and know that's the kind of stuff, though. Like I said, it wound up being just a bunch of people living in the woods.
That's pretty messed up, man. I don't know
Uh,
what type of person live in the woods like that. I wouldn't want
well,
to live there.
he said they've always lived there. That's where they were born. That's where they were. Where they Now, I didn't ever see nobody but him, but he kept mentioning we. And like I said, I key in, especially in a situation like that, certain words that people say. Like, if it would have been just, I wouldn't have been as nervous as if he just said me or us. But when he said we, that means, usually when somebody says we, that means like more than 2 people. Us is usually 2 people. We means more than that. So, and I'm half asleep, just woke up, and like I said, this dude right here, he needed some TLC. I'm talking about, I think, a country bumpkin. He didn't like no caveman, but he needed a good bath, and he needed a dentist. So
Yeah,
what's been? Go
New
ahead.
Orleans bad for the dentist, man. So
Well,
let me questions, man. What's on your what's coming out soon? Or did you already touch on that while I was getting my cigars and
well,
did
I
you say
kind of did.
on it?
I kind of did, but like I told him, I don't really want to share a whole lot of what I've got coming, because it's stuff that I haven't seen nowhere on YouTube. And usually, what happens if we tell, if we come out and say, "Hey, look, I'm fixing to start hanging a phone in the woods and see if somebody, see what happens." Next thing you know, you got videos of people hanging phones around in the woods, and then they want to act like they come up with the idea. So the thing is, if they want to find out what I've got coming, they've got to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, so they can know. Because, like I said, DW knows some of the stuff that's going on, like Kaya does and Vamp does, but nobody else does. And like I said, you can ask DW. I got some interesting stuff that I've been talking back and forth with him. Nobody else is doing, and we're gonna do it first.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's good to have you back. It's not
Oh
bad
yeah,
for you coming back having 30 something people. Well, 27, you was at 33. That's not bad for coming back and really notifications are popping up a stream. So next time you got to use a community tab and let everybody know. You got
yeah.
to sit in everybody.
Look, you
And
know how long it took me to set this up, because I'm so rusty. I hadn't been doing this right here. And like I said, this new laptop that my other one, it met an unfortunate tragic end. I'm getting this new laptop that is touchscreen. I keep messing with the screen, and when you touch this damn screen, it does shit, and I don't like it.
yeah, that's why they call them touchscreens, man. That's why I don't
Well,
get all fancy stuff.
well, y'all just wait. Like I said, I've got some pictures. I sent DW one from yesterday. I was out. I was out till late last night. I missed DW's stream where I'll talk about that one, where I come across. I've never got to actually come across one that was not where it was started, like I showed you, and then they did, for some reason they stop. It's where the vines they take and they start weaving them back and forth, and they'll take other trees and stuff and weave them in there to make their little, I call them little huts, because these things live like the Indian tribes used to. The different nations used to live like 100 years ago. stuff that you come across and stuff that my grandfather and other tribesmen have told me. And I thought it was I was kind of happy and glad that I actually got to find one. Go ahead, man.
Who, me?
Yeah, well, I guess my shit fed back to me. I thought you were trying to say something, so I didn't want to cut you off.
Listening to you. Go ahead.
I got this new mic and I'm trying to get it set, and it's acting stupid. But I like that. Like I said, I haven't been able to come across one like that it looked like it was for some reason I don't know if it was a young one that was mimicking its older ones, but I didn't find any of the little their little cuts, I call them, around that area. But it looked like maybe a younger one was just sitting there fiddling and playing, because think about it, these things ain't got computers, they ain't got cell phones, they got laptops. Two sticks to them's a party.
Well, I know I saw those pictures and that was kind of freaky, man. In the woods, either a human had to do that or something with intelligence had to do that. That's kind of creepy. I would hate to run up on something like that.
If I'd have been thinking, I'd have put something down put something there for size comparison, and I'd have actually took a video of me trying to just bend part. You're talking about a vine that's a little bit bigger than a half, yeah, bigger than a half a dollar, and it's been folded and tied in, and like intricate little ties and sticks like you would do your shoestrings. And I can't flex this thing. I'm talking about not like it has been done. So whatever done it had very strong hands, very strong hands. I wouldn't want to shake its hand. Dude, heard you got a epic show that it's not the first time you've been on this show, but you're going back. The April, what is it? April the what?
Oh yeah, I'm booking for my appearances. I got like 20 interviews coming up. I think April 11th, I got Spaced Out Radio. April 4th, I got Heather Wade with Midnight in the Desert.
That's the lady.
I got a whole bunch of them. I'm getting ready to start promoting them. Tomorrow night we got Lon Strickler on talking about Mothman on a live stream. So yeah, man, we got a lot getting ready to go. I'm getting ready. I have to take breaks from content creation and recharge my.
I totally understand that. Somebody said something in the chat right here I seen where I think Lakea answered it. For everybody that's new to my channel and new to here, that's something I don't do. I'm not going to do like some people and mention something and I'm not going to talk about it. But I do not reveal locations. And if I tell you somebody's name, I'll be the first one to tell you that's not their real name. That's either a name that I gave them or a nickname that they wanted to be called, because you have too many crazy people that will want to go to these places. I just need to see a dog, man. I need to see a Bigfoot. And first thing is, look, some of these places I go are in the backwoods. These people don't greet strangers with a wave. You get greeted with a shotgun. And that, if you go out to look for a dog man or a Bigfoot, you need to understand what you're doing. You're going out to try to find a wild creature. This thing is not in a zoo. This thing is not Yogi Bear going to sit down with a picnic basket. You're talking about something where you are way down on the list of the food chain, and it's at the top. And most people can't get that grasp too late. And that's why I do not name locations. If I tell you a location or a state, I won't give you enough information to find where I am. And it's not because I don't want to share my research. It's because I don't want you going out and harassing these people that I have made friends with and got close to, because that gives me access back to that area, and I don't want you to go out and get yourself hurt. I grew up in the woods. I've been all over the freaking country, all over in deserts and rainforest, thick jungles, you name it, I've been in it. I'm not no expert. I'm not acting. I don't want somebody to think that, well, I think I'm the only one that can do this. No, I just know I have enough sense about me. I do, and if you go with me, you follow my instructions to a T. Because if not, then you get me aggravated. When I get aggravated, it is not good. You would probably it's probably be as bad as you running into a Bigfoot. You have to understand when an animal tells you something, and animals will if you know how to listen to them. Everything from a cat, dog, mouse, whatever, Bigfoot, dog man, will let you know when you're doing stuff that it doesn't like, and you need to back off. Because if you don't, then it only has one other action: make you. And you're talking about something that can grab your head and squish it like a little tomato. It may not mean to hurt you when it's trying to make you go on. That don't mean it won't. That's what I can't stress that enough. Make sure when you decide you want to go out and look for these animals, that they are animals. You don't hear about people just wanting to. Oh, I think I want to go find me a grizzly bear. You go out there and find a grizzly bear. Then what you gonna do? Does does that not aggravate you too, DW?
No, what aggravates me is the simple fact that it's the harvesting of the information. So Lon just went through something similar to that, where he was doing all this extensive research on Mothman in Chicago, and he was contacting witnesses, and he actually wrote a book, and then people took his research, harvested it, and then went and tried to go ahead and piggyback on it. And that's what it is. It's just lazy people
Yeah.
harvesting research, trying to build their own platform on it. The problem is, um, and my whole thing is this: if you're gonna go out there and try and find Dogman and Bigfoot, good luck to you. You know. So I'm starting to give a few locations. If it's a location where I know it's not within the direct vicinity of the person who shared the story with me, I give the location. Go your silly ass out there, go find Dogman and get eaten alive. That's on you. But if it's a location where it's like at someone's house and they've been having activity, I'm not giving that location. But it's a location where you can go, I'm gonna let you go. I used to say, well, I'm gonna try and protect people. You can't protect people because people are silly. They're gonna go do what they want to do. So I'm giving people exactly what they want. 2018, as you already know, I'm on some new stuff for 2018. I'm on my grizzly, and
Well,
and
yeah,
you know, ain't no what I'll tell you.
I get what you're saying about the whole taking somebody's their hard work and wanting to claim it for their own. See, that's another thing that kind of made me take my vacation. Was I got to where I was doing a lot more what I call armchair computer research and going off of it, where I needed to have my butt out in the field. If I wanted to know something, I need to go out there and find it, because that's where you're going to find the answers. You're not going to find the answers sitting behind a computer. That's one of the things. And I, I feel more at home out in the woods than I do inside of in a car and sitting inside of a gridlock. What do you got coming down the line?
We got the Primal Fear album coming.
Oh yeah, dude, I can't wait for that.
That's a double album. 10 Bigfoot stories, 10 Dogman stories. Right now, it's produced, but right now I'm trying to get the guest intros done. So I've been trying to get my work from Dave Schrader, because he's supposed to do one of the intros, and Lon should be sending me his stuff over. So it's done. I just need to put the final touches on it. I did a little bit of promotion on it, and I'll probably do a hell of a lot more promotion starting tomorrow. Then after that, I'm dropping another album, which is just going to be pretty much all ghosts, demons, and scary stuff. And then I released the 2018 roadmap, which is on my Facebook page where people can see where we're going. I decided to release the roadmap because in the paranormal world, I know that people kind of follow what you do, and they try and steal your ideas. And one of the things is that we put out ideas, but we never document that idea where it's been put out and it's documented. Hey, I'm going to do this. We say it, but then we never document it. So since it's not documented, there's no reference point for you to go back and say, hey, I was the one that came up with this first. So today I paid for the second payment of the Siege of Lockett Ranch game, which is going to be a first-person shooter game created in Unreal gaming system. It's going to be a computer game that you can play directly on the website. And if you can imagine playing Call of Duty, that's the quality level of the game that we're talking about. So, I'm busting moves because I see so many gaps and holes in the industry that people just are not taking advantage of, that somebody has to do it, and I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hey, I will share this. Me and DW's been talking about. He's been trying to get me to do this since we met. And the way I'm going to do this, YouTube's platform has done got crazier and crazier and crazier. Especially anything that has to do with guns, any gun videos, whatever. The YouTube, I'm talking about, they're worse than a candy bar at fat camp. I'm going to start putting together some videos that you're going to only be, and I'm going to give them to DW. They're going to be on DW's website, where whoever has access to that, they get to go see these. That's the only place you're going to be able. That's the only place you're going to be able to go see some of these videos. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'll tell you it involves vault and it involves guns, and that usually involves shit blowing up.
but that ain't what we talked about. We talked about creating your own platform.
Oh, I know, but I was going to get to that, but but like I said, I'm going to I want to give that, because you came up with that idea, had been trying to get me to do it since, like I said, have you not, since we met? I want to start it out on your channel, on your website, because like I said, yes, I'm fixing to have DW help me build the same thing he's got for some of the video, because there's some videos I'm not fixing to put on YouTube. For the simple fact is, people can come in, steal your stuff. It's so easy for somebody to come in and steal your stuff, go remonetize it, or for YouTube to come in and say, because it's got one picture of something it doesn't like, and demonetize it or strike your video off or whatever. And I don't like somebody having that much authority over something I put my hard work in. So I will still like DW. He comes back and forth. Right now, YouTube is going to be my main thing, but yeah, I'm going to work on building me a platform that I can go put videos that I don't think would be appropriate, that YouTube wouldn't think is appropriate for their platform, but I still want to put it out there. That's the whole reason why I started my fooling with my website. And I'm going to tell y'all something. That is aggravating. I'm not a computer tech, whatever, and I've had a couple of people. I've been trying to sit there and figure it out. That is aggravating as hell. But yeah, we're gonna do some stuff like that. Like I said, I want to give my buddy that got me started. If it wasn't for DW, I wouldn't have started YouTube. And I wouldn't have been doing the stuff that I'm doing now with YouTube. Y'all wouldn't be getting the videos y'all are getting from me on YouTube if it wasn't for DW and Lakeia, because they both have encouraged me to do this, because I'm good at it with the videos that I put out, where I go and carry you into the woods and I show you how to find signs most people walk by and won't never see. And I actually like doing it. It's my little niche. But yeah, me and DW, we're gonna work together and put some stuff on his channel, and then, like I said, down the line, I don't know how long it'll take, but we're gonna have a vault website, and y'all need to go check out DW's website if you haven't been there. It doesn't cost that much to join, and it's worth it, because you're gonna get content over there that you can't get anywhere else. Y'all think the stories that he's been putting on YouTube are bad? Y'all ain't, man. Y'all need to go check out some of that stuff, because you're limited to what you can do on YouTube. You're limited to the songs that you can put in there. You're limited to you may put a picture on your for a thumbnail, and they don't like it and take the whole damn video down. Will they not, DW? How many videos have they struck in a year?
At one point in time, I had 25 videos that they demonetized that I had to go back and manually request that they review for monetization, because they said it wasn't appropriate. So, but I got ahead of that curve.
It wouldn't be much that they said was. It may have been a snippet of a little song, or paragraph you said or something. That's what I think is stupid. But
Well, you know what it is? It's the Google uses artificial intelligence. So every time, like right now, as we talking live, is transcribing everything we're saying into words and analyzing those words for the keywords that they figure are inappropriate. That's why, like, certain words you should not say. Like, you shouldn't say talk about weapons,
yep,
even though that particular word is not. But certain words you shouldn't say because immediately it's flagged.
yep,
Um, and to me, it's one of those things where it's just a form of censorship because someone has to program the AI. So there's a person there that programmed that computer to look for these words, and it updates those
yeah,
words on a daily basis as to what they want to find out and what they want to weed out. So,
yep.
um,
And it doesn't have, and like you said, it's artificial intelligence. It doesn't matter. It looks for certain keywords, certain pictures. One of the guys that has been creating on YouTube for a good while, he has a website. He has a YouTube channel. He has two of them. One is Demolition Ranch, and the other one is I think it's uh, Vet Ranch. They went in and demonetized and struck all of his. He owns a vet clinic, and what he was doing was, he started a program in his area where, a lot of kids don't get to go in and see, like, when they're fixing a. Uh, Hold on, I'm sorry. I thought I had this thing turned off. Uh, Sorry about that. Where they can go in and see, like, a dog that has matted hair and stuff like that, and they go in, they shave him and clean him up and show. They take this ugly looking dog and make a cute little, like you say, old lady carrying in her purse dog, and they may show a surgery where they fix one's leg or something. They went in and demonetized and took his channel down because he was making videos for other kids, for teachers to show, like, how they set a dog's leg, how they put a cast on it, how they keep him from chewing on the cat. Stuff that, well, if I was a kid, most kids like stuff like that. He was just making educational videos. And they went in and took his whole channel down. But
no, that's what's going on. Anybody who's got dealing with anything with firearms is being demonetized
oh
at this point.
yes, oh yes, and that's one of the reasons I haven't put any more of my videos out, because when I go somewhere, I've got a weapon with me, at least one, if not multiple. And in several of the videos I've got where I've had one of the guys that's on my research team, Lethal, he may have had his action camera on, and it catches me coming through, and I'm in a full freaking. I'm talking about, I've got a loadout, my vest on. I've got my M4 and stuff like that. Oh, YouTube would hate me. So that's the reason why a lot of those other videos that I got, like I said, I've got a bunch of them, y'all. I just can't put them up here because right now, as soon as you put that up there, it's going to be gone before it ever gets finished analyzing. So I've got some stuff that's coming that I can put up. I'm just having to go through and make sure there's nothing in there that would cause the video to be stricken or whatever. DW, won't you tell us one of your stories, if you don't mind, of, something a teaser. I like teasers.
I would say the best one that's going to be coming out on this album is called Evacuation, and it's a story that came to me from my partner who his family in the Philippines, and it was their experience with two Bigfoots when they were evacuating the tsunami that hit, I think it was 2016 in the Philippines, and it was actually the entire village that they were in was fleeing, people on foot, people on scooters, the few cars that they had, people were fleeing. And as they're fleeing down the road, they actually see two Sasquatches uh, fleeing in the woods, like paralleling them. And they had an opportunity to see this for extended period of time. We're not talking about for like a glimpse. We're talking about, 10 to 15 minutes where they actually saw these things like tracking away from them, and multiple people saw it. So that's one of the ones, evacuation, that people are going to really like. It might be evacuation, or maybe Eye of the Storm, one of the two. It's very dramatic, because it's one of the natural disaster stories. Now, I never actually cover the natural disasters themselves because I feel that that's inappropriate, but I do cover some of the things that happen around the natural disasters. Um, then there's another Sasquatch story that was shared to me by a gentleman in northern Alabama, right outside of Huntsville. There's a lumber mill there, and at that lumber mill and lumber yard, they had an epic battle with a very, very aggressive alpha Bigfoot, that they started to expand the yard, and they wanted to make more room to stack more logs so they can run the logs through the machines. Well, yeah, one or two black guys working there, and the brother that was working there was assigned to use the bulldozer to knock over the trees and clear the area. And so while he was trying to clear the area, the Bigfoot stepped out from behind a tree and started growling at him, like growling and showing himself to him. He runs back to the foreman who runs the whole thing and was like, "Yo, they got something over there, man. They got a monster over there. I'm not going over there." He tells him, "Man, you need to get back to work." He didn't believe him. He's like, "Nah, I'm not going over there." Homeboy takes vacation. Like, I'm gone. I'm going home. They get another guy to go over there. This guy sees Sasquatch. 2 days after that, they shut everything down. They come back, and there's a tree shoved through the front windshield of the dozer, like shattered. It's just straight, like you take a toothpick and stick it through a piece of paper. That's what happened. Then at that point in time, the foreman really, really understood that he had a problem. And so he ended up trying to tell the owner about it. And the owner didn't believe him. And so it went through the process of it escalating all the way to the point to where now the owner believed him. They hired a private security firm to go out there and deal with it. The private security firm got ran off. Then they had to hire another one. And this wasn't regular private security. This was some other type private security. And they took care of it for him. And they had to shut it down for like a month in order to get rid of him. So that's the lumberyard story. And it's a great story. So I got some dope stuff coming that people are really, really going to enjoy. And I'm taking my time with it. The biggest thing is try not to rush. Since I made that conversion to the I Am Dog Waters website, where people are paying a subscription on a monthly basis, there's this, you can feel people anticipating something coming out. Like, you can feel it in your bones when it's like, okay, it didn't come out. People anticipating, they want to hear it. But at the same time, I don't want to ever feel the disappointment. It wasn't as good as it could have been. You know what I'm saying? So I take my time to make sure it's right, and I make sure it's something that's worth their time and their money. So that's two of the stories. Those are super duper dope. And then,
oh yeah, I like that. I can't wait to hear that.
And then the only other thing that's really coming down the pipeline, and I'm excited about, is the short films. I'm really, really excited about that, because a lot of these guys do face reveals on YouTube. Like, YouTube is a face reveal. They show themselves on camera. Hey, this is me, and da 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 da. Well, my face reveal, which my face has always been out there, but my face reveal will be inside of the short story with me playing a part that is just naturally me. So some of the roles that I'll be playing in the stories that's just my personality. And that's the key to doing some of the acting, is as long as you're not trying to be something you're not, then you don't need to train up on it. And because of my vast experiences, there's a number of roles that so I'm excited about that, because that will be my face reveal. I'm doing it different than everybody else does it. Their face reveal is, oh, I showed my face, or I'm gonna talk shit about you, and now I'm gonna show my face. I'm not rocking like that. I'm gonna make it epic. Everything I do is epic, and that's my goal, is to put forward and make way. And I tell you something, I've gotten to the point, Vault, where I realized that people are kind of on some jackass shit. Like, if you think about it, prior to me going to Coast AM, Darkness Radio, Jason Hawes and JV Johnson show, there was no person on YouTube from the paranormal world of YouTube that ever went to terrestrial radio. That's a door that I opened for people by me being proficient at what I do. So now they look to YouTube and say, well, Dog Waters came from YouTube. Maybe we can find somebody else on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
It don't always
example,
work that
don't
way.
always look at it, but a perfect example is you going on with Wes Gorman. You did a wonderful job with Wes Gorman. So is we have to represent well when we do these things. It's important that we represent well when we do these things because it's a door that's open to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like people get YouTube confused. YouTube is like this ghetto, and I mean, it really is. Facebook is another digital ghetto. Twitter is a digital ghetto, and people are locked into these ghettos. And inside YouTube, you may be somebody very important and very popular. Inside Facebook, you may have a Facebook group where you're very important and very popular. What I've been able to do is transcend all of that and combine it all together in one big bundle. And I just want to make sure that people, represent when it's time to represent. If you're going to go out there, then go out there and do it right. And that's what we got to do. I'll be
Yep.
talking a lot more about that tomorrow night. So you're not going to miss that stream. But it's one of those things to where it's like I built it and I'm sitting here looking at people just fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
fucking it up.
Yeah, because like you were talking about Wes Garmer, when I went on Wes Garmer's show, I don't think nobody had really been on there, but one or two people besides. Now I'm not counting you. I'm talking about besides. I'm not going to say their names of the shows, but a couple of people, and a lot of people had been trying to get him to come on and do a show on YouTube, and he wouldn't do it. But I was able to bring Wes to my channel after doing one interview with him, and that meant a lot. That meant a lot to me, and I didn't realize how big as it was until he brought it to my attention. He's like, I've had people for years been trying to get me to come to their shows, and I just wouldn't do it. He said I just didn't. It wasn't my thing. I didn't like being over there, but we were able to bring him over.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's been some epic things that have happened. And just for you moving forward, you're going to need to increase your content. You got to get your documents together, your paperwork together to get the interviews. But we're going to get you organized and get you together so you can grow rapidly.
Dude, LeKay has been trying to organize me for years. My idea of organization is a shoebox. But I got to get better at it because there are some of these shows that I do want to go on to broaden the horizon of our audience and to get the message that I've been trying to do since I started this out to reach more people. And so whatever it takes.
Well, no, it's not hard. We have major inroads everywhere. Like my show is syndicated on several radio networks already. So we have the inroads. It's just people got to put the work in. Not saying you, but the work has to be put in order to make sure it's crisp and clear. And we got the game plan together. So we're gonna get it popping. And they got a couple other people that we're gonna bring down the pipeline.
The biggest thing they don't understand is you have to be able to talk to somebody. You have to be able to sit there for some of these shows, like what's the lady's name that's out in the desert?
Have the show is a 4-hour show.
Yeah, I'm just okay. I said 3, but 4 hours. You have to sit there and be able to carry on a conversation with somebody, and a conversation to make it where you want to listen to that person. To do that, you can't be just sitting there. Oh yeah, yeah. You have to be able to carry on a conversation and think on your feet. People don't screen their calls. Somebody calls in and asks you a question, you better have an answer or some kind of answer. I'll say it that way. Then I can't talk about that.
Yeah, that not only that, the Coast to Coast is a 3-hour show. Heather Wade's a 4-hour show.
What was that one you did one, man, that was like 5 or 6 hours freaking long? You wound up staying on there. You wound up doing I think you were supposed to be on there for an hour and wound up being on there for like 4 or 5.
That was Coast to Coast. I did 3 hours. Heather, I did 4. I did somebody where it was supposed to be 1 hour and I ended up doing 3 hours. But the whole point of making is that there's an art to what's done. And I mean, I'm going to say the same thing tomorrow. And I'm pretty much like what I do is based on my life experience. So I have 7 years of radio experience. experience, like real deal syndicated radio experience. So what I found on YouTube is that a lot of these people on YouTube, they don't have that experience. But you can build an audience on YouTube that makes you believe that you're good. And that's the one thing that's deceptive about YouTube. So you see it in the narration industry. You see somebody with 100,000 subscribers, but their content sucks. But in their mind, they're good because it's this little kingdom of people who encourage them, which is a great thing. But once they get outside of that box, imagine like little cities spread around. If you're 30,000 feet in the air and you're looking down, there are these little cities. Some cities got 100,000 people. Some cities got 1,000,000 people. Some cities got 200,000, but they all have these huge walls around them. And that's what it's set up like. And inside those walls, you're the man. Once you come outside those walls, people are like, yo, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about YouTube. And that's the thing about YouTube personalities. It's these little fiefdoms is what I like to call them. And it's crazy, but
yeah, that's something we were talking about. I think it was last night or yesterday. The personalities that go along with these. Most people don't understand. They think that DW is a persona. They think the Vault Keeper is a persona. They're not personas. If you meet me or talk to me, whether you're on this show or I'm talking to you somewhere else, you're gonna get the same person. It's not a persona. That's just me. It's the same way with DW. It's the same. I think that's why me and you hit it off so well when we first started talking, because you're the same person on air as talking regular on the phone. And I am the same. I'm the same way. People have to understand it's not just some kind of persona where you get on there and talk deep or you change this up or whatever. And you have to have. It's not making a character. You have to be a person.
yeah, well, the proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. That's not even something. It's been proven already. And what it boils down to is, you have to be yourself. Like Raven Levine and I were talking, and she's getting ready to do a collaboration with me, and we were talking about what she's doing, and I was explaining to her. I said, Raven, you have to be yourself. Like you only can be you. Like Dark Waters is a straw man that I've built because in the industry, you're going to take shots, you're going to take hits, and you're going to have crazy people. So you build a straw man that people can throw darts at and shoot at and try and destroy. And it doesn't really bother anything because you're going after Dark Waters. And the repercussions for you going after the straw man are significantly different than the repercussions after you going after the real individual. So if someone decides that they're going to go to my Dark Waters Facebook page and post all kind of crazy stuff, who cares? Now, if you were to come to one of my businesses or something in my personal life and you were to actually behave the way you behave towards the straw man Dark Waters, then something has to be done about it. And it won't be handled the way it's handled with Dark Waters. So although it's a straw man and although it's that facade, it's 90% me, 10% the straw man. The other 10% of me is what makes me like crazy. That's the crazy part of me. That's the other part that nobody needs to see. But you get 90% of me. The 10%, like that dude, you don't want to meet that dude under no circumstance. That dude got problems. So I say all that to say that people need to understand, and you have to be you. And that's where I see a lot of people go wrong on YouTube. You go through a phase where you're trying to find yourself and you're trying to figure out how you're going to fit in and what's your niche going to be. And then once, like, take, for example, Grim. Grim has been pushing content for a long time. Grim is being himself. And eventually he's going to catch on. He's just got to keep on going and keep on pushing because he's just being himself.
Yep. That's one thing I liked about Little Grim. That's my little buddy there. I said he don't have that many subscribers, and he does it. He would do what he's doing whether he had 1 or 1,000. He does. He drops at least one story every day. I keep a watch whether he knows it or not. And I talk to Graham pretty regular. Like I said, there's certain people in our group that most people don't know that they get to actually talk to us, and we're the same. You can ask Graham. I'm the same person that's talking right here that talks to him, that may call him at 12 o'clock in the day. Hey man, what are you doing? What you up to? Just checking on you.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about keeping it real with this. Like um, what I've discovered is that there's a segment of the community that wants to use people. Like, let me do a collaboration with you so I can get content, so I can get subscribers. Um, I don't really give a shit about you. I don't care about you. I don't care about if you're sick. I don't care if you got a runny nose. I don't care if your kids got to go to school, or I don't give a damn. But give me what I want. And a lot of people are set up that way, and that's not just in this industry. That's just people in general. But at the end of the day, in order to actually build something sustainable, you have to give a damn about people. And if you're not a person that really cares about people at all, then it's going to be, you may build a kingdom, you may build a city with 1 million people, but then somebody like me will come along and crack the walls and start breaking it down, because the simple fact is that you're just not authentic. You know what I'm saying? And not being authentic and not being a real individual, a real person who actually gives a damn about somebody. Once people come to that realization, then they're like, all right, I'm gonna listen to you because it's, I've been doing it. It's a habit. But at the end of the day, you fucking suck as a person. You know what I'm saying? And the
And
biggest thing is, this is all about people.
excuse me, I'm sorry. This damn mic. You touched on something that I was going to address here in just a little bit, but you already touched on it. It's like the little channels like Grimm and stuff like that. Like I said, he's been part of the been part of our family since I started. And I've tried to help him grow subscribers and stuff. And you've tried to, you've done what you can. And that's the thing. If anything, it's always come back to bite us in the butt. We've always tried to reach out to other channels and other people and try to help. Where this is the crazy community where you do that, you get your hand bit. And I didn't, it was odd to me. I'm talking about, if I'm trying to help you, I like you as a person, I like what you're doing, but yet you're going to turn around and crap on me because you think it's going to get you further ahead. Well, okay. That's just like the guy that I went out and did the investigation for, that I was at his house today when I called you. The man owns a logging outfit. He wanted to start a little YouTube thing to show some of the stuff that goes on a daily basis in their logging outfit. I helped him set up a little channel today, and I'm going to leave a link later on, y'all, to his logging outfit. It's called Timberwood Logging. And because of these people, you're going to get a lot of videos that I couldn't have got, because he has access to hundreds of thousands of acres that now I have access to. He gave me something, and why would I not help him by giving him something? Y'all go check it out, Timberwood Logging. I'm talking about, you're talking about machine. Think of, well, for one, he's got a dozer video that he put in there where he was actually driving across a wooden bridge. It's a fit. I think it's 30 feet from where the top of the bridge was to the bottom of the creek. As he's driving across, the bridge falls over him while he's in the dozer driving it. And it shows them taking other machines down there big enough that can pick that dozer up and flip it back over and put, stuff that most people never have seen. I was like, yeah, dude, that's no problem. I can help you out. I'll even, give you a shout out and see if we can't get you some people to come over and watch your videos. Like I said, real cool dude. Like I said, gonna give us access to a lot of land and a lot of stuff. And like I said, these people are out there in the woods every day, not just sometimes or part time. That's where they make their living. I'm talking about when a person can be driving down a road, look over and say, what kind of tree is that? And he can tell you from just looking at a glance what kind of tree that is. See, stuff like that to me is cool. That's how I grew up around stuff like that. And, that's what most people won't do. They don't help out. All they want to do is take. And me and you have come across that a lot.
Yeah, no good deed goes unpunished. That's but that's why for 2018, my thing is, I've discovered, and for those of you listening, you noticed the change. I've discovered that I'm dealing with the uncool kids in class, the guy who was sitting in the back of the class picking his nose, the guy who didn't have a prom date, the guy who got bullied, the guy who had all the problems, and they have their little kingdom, and they've built their little kingdom, and this is what makes them who they are, because this is where they find their meaning and their significance. And I was struggling to figure out why people were behaving the way they behaved, and luckily, my business partner who is extremely intelligent, worked for the NSA for a very long time, and has a doctor's degree in psychology. We were sitting here at my desk smoking cigars, and we were talking about one of the conflicts. And he said, "Man, you got to realize um, you are a threat to their existence because dark waters is not what you do. You do so many things well that this is only a part of what you are and who you are. This is who they are and what they are." And I said, well, if that's the case, then the best way to destroy somebody is to destroy them with humor. Because, you know, if I'm looking at the nerdy dude who didn't want to, who was being made fun of his whole life, and people teased him, I'm going to take you back to being 12 years old. I'm going to put your ass back in that classroom and take the power from you and make you feel nerdy and goofy and geeky again. And so that's what's getting ready to happen to every one of these motherfuckers who fuck with me. I'm going to literally put foot to ass and destroy them. Last year I didn't do it because last year I was focused on building a platform and doing a whole bunch of things. But um, now I take all takers. I'm taking any fight you want to bring, I'm busting that ass because it's what needs to be done. You know, it really is what needs to be done. And from that point moving forward, once people catch on to that, then now you actually have entertainment. It's not people fussing back and forth. What happened to was entertaining. I thought that was entertaining to a lot of people. A lot of people got a kick out of that. It could have been, you know, I'm gonna fuck him up. You know what I'm saying? But that's the 10%. But that time I'm too old. So.
Well, not just that. I figured out that's another reason that I kind of got away from YouTube for a while because it got to be. It does no good to go back and forth with my channel to go back and forth fussing with this other channel or this other person that comes to my channel because it sounds like two kindergartners out on the playground. My truck's better than your truck. Well, okay, you think yours is better. I think mine's better. Go do your thing. That's a waste of time. I could use that energy and time to do so much more and be more productive and enjoy for. That's not enjoy. I don't like fussing. I don't like arguing. That's it. I'm, you know me. I'm a odd person anyway. Fussing and arguing to me gets me agitated, and me agitated is not the same thing as most people be. Me mad is one thing. Me agitated is a whole different damn ball game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, and that's why I think humor is the way to deal with them because humor allows you to enjoy what you're doing, and not let it get serious. Because when it gets serious, then things start to happen. So,
yeah, I'm talking about. This is what I say. You don't like me, fine. Don't like me. I'm not. Everybody don't like me. There's a lot of people that hate me. It's a long freaking list. Stand in line. But go instead of you coming over and worry because you don't like me, coming over to see what I'm doing and want to down me. Go do something productive. Don't worry about what I'm doing. If you don't like me, don't worry about it. I won't worry about you. You don't worry about me, and I got other shit I can do.
It's don't work though.
Oh, I know. Well, that's because there's a lot of these people growing up are not what we call real men. Damn. I think I got my coffee a little too strong.
Boys is what I like to call them, and that's unfortunate. But at the same time, it's a great thing. People are authentic, and people have true personal skills. Interpersonal skills is the word I'm looking for. It's one of those things that's great for you, bad for them, and so it is what it is. But I gotta hop off here, bro, because I gotta get these kids squared up for school in the morning. So I'll be listening, but I'm gonna go ahead and get them because they're playing video games, wilding out. They got to get their bags packed.
I'm going to be on for a little, and then I'm going to cut this one. And man, we done got up to 44 people in here.
Oh yeah. I tell you what, you've been gone for damn near a year, and you get just as many people as Swamp Donkey gets on the average live stream.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna be in here and try to answer a few questions, and like I said, then it's gonna be next time. I appreciate it. I'll holler at you either after a while or in the morning, man.
All right, talk to you soon.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming by.
All right, bye.
Okay, people. Now we're gonna get to the part of this where we're gonna do some Q&A. If you got a question, put it in the chat, and I'll see if I can't get it answered for you real quick. We're gonna wrap this up in just about 15 more minutes. This went a little longer than I thought it would, but it took me a little longer to get it up and going. And things are going to be. We're going to have a kind of not a what I call a regular show, but we're going to have a. It's going to go back to what when I stopped, what it was like. Of course, Vamp and Lacaille's got my back. I bought y'all a ladder. What are you talking about a raise? No, I didn't. I didn't know you could pay for subs. I don't do that. The largest Bigfoot I ran into. I believe that would be up north in Alaska. That's the biggest one I've ever seen personally. But when I seen it, I did not realize how big it was because it was far enough away from us. It was standing up by a tree line, holding a branch, kind of looking around the tree at us. But it looked like it was about 7 foot tall from where we were. Afterwards, when later on when we went back, we didn't go then because this thing was obviously agitated. Later on, we went back. We realized there's a drop off where it was standing. As soon as you walked up there and got to the tree, there was a sharp drop off, and you could tell where it'd been standing. And we measured from where the ground was up to that limb, and it was 13 feet. Now its head was above that limb, and his arm was holding it. And he was kind of like looking over it, so he had to be in the 14-foot range. About, I'm gonna say he was about 6 foot, looked like a crossed. That's a rough guesstimate. Let's see here. Let me look back in chat. I can. Oh yeah, I leave my live streams up. I don't take them down. I've only took down one. I've only ever took down 3 live streams. Uh, One because I just wasn't really happy with the way I conducted myself in it. And the other ones because YouTube said that we said something. Now we used to be bad about going left. And it was deemed it was deemed unappropriate for HBO or Cinemax, so I had to actually take those down. I'm waiting for somebody to type something. I don't know if it's just my chat or everybody's chat is kind of rolling slow. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, see, they ain't forgot about you blowing up the microwave. Let me see if I can go back and see. Every time I touch something, I mess it up, so I don't like touching stuff. Have I seen Bigfoot recently in my field work? Yeah, several times. Um, but that's the other thing. I'm not out here to prove its existence. What I do is I try to learn. I want to learn more about it because just like in the video y'all saw where I come across the trees that were all chewed up, I've never come across that before. I don't know if it's, I can't honestly say Bigfoot did it because I didn't see it do it, but I believe that's what did it. But every time I think I've got something figured out, something else comes along and throws a monkey wrench in it. I'm back to square one. That's what I'm saying. Anybody that tells you they're an expert, they got it figured out, they're they're full of horse malarkey. Because, like I said, I've seen so much stuff that I didn't believe that they would do or could do or whatever, and it happened. So all these scientists and stuff, they're always saying, "Well, it just can't be possible." They've been known. Nature proves them wrong a lot. Look at the panda. Look at the coelacanth. How many times did they go? You can go back and look in records where the panda cannot exist. Well, guess what? There's the panda bear. Hold on 1 second. Speaker, the logger guy, that was him that just texted me. Huh. Okay. Well, yeah, I definitely got to get back down there. They've got some little bit more aggressive stuff going on, and we'll get back to that because I haven't been down there, I hadn't seen. As I say, that's the other thing. I don't take everything that when somebody like he just texted me and told me some problems he's having. I don't, even though I know I've seen some activity in the area, I don't automatically go in thinking, well, yep, it's Bigfoot. No, that to me, that's one of the worst things you can do. I don't care how many times I've been in an area where I know there's activity of Bigfoot. I go in what I call a clean slate. I go in, try to actually disprove it could not be Bigfoot and could be something else. And about 3/4 of the time, it winds up being Bigfoot. You can't explain it no other way than that's what it could be. Will Bigfoot attack and eat people? Yeah, Bigfoot will attack you. I can't most definitely say it will eat you, but I will say this: there has been instances where something, and it wasn't a bear, dismembered some people, and the only conclusion like I just said, I could come up with was it was a Bigfoot. I wasn't there to see him do it, but the evidence leads back to that's what did it. Like, yeah, you funny. You just wait. Mm-hmm. Lakay has been babysitting Bear for me while I've been out for a couple of days. I don't like to take him on some of his investigations because it's too long of a ride for him. He's done got older in his age. And I'm going to leave Bear with you for another week. And for the ones that don't know, Bear is my giant dog. He likes 1 pound being 200. And Vault don't do nothing small. Anything going on in Wyoming? I don't know. I haven't been up that far north in a while because I've been kind of concentrating on the central part of the United States, back all the way towards uh, Georgia. I'm concentrating more along the southern part of the Appalachian Trail right now, and its offshoots is where I've been basing a lot of my research and stuff because I've tried the shotgun effect where I just go everywhere. And what I'm trying to do is pin it down to actually smaller regions. And what I've come up with is these things are migratory, but they do have some tribes. That's what I'm going to start calling them. That's what I've started calling them, is because they act like a tribe that is done set like a Native American tribe that is they stay in this area. They live there. They birthed there. They eat there, and I don't know why they hadn't migrated. I don't know if it's the some of the juveniles that are leaving that migrate and what I don't have enough information still. But like I said, I know there are some areas where whatever time of the year you go there, you can possibly have now possibly remember that possibly have interaction, encounter, or see sign of Bigfoot. Let's see here. Yeah, Bear's like a mini horse. Yep. I'm gonna have to carry Bear out and get some pictures with Bear for people to understand his back. I'm not a big fella. I'm probably 5'11", and Bear comes up to his back is at my belt line. Uh, Let's see. I'm trying to find some more questions in the chat. I'm bad about. I don't watch chat like I should, y'all. And I noticed Lakea. I think Vamp might have got one a while ago. I didn't. I meant to. I started telling people this earlier. If you're new to this channel, understand if I and I said no. We have fun in the chat. We do a lot of stuff. If you come over here and act stupid, though, my ladies, Lakea and Vamp, I don't. You may think you can get by with something. They'll nuke your butt before you know what's going on. We don't put up with that. Like I said, we pick, joke, play, but we don't put up with the racist stuff. We don't put up with none of that other stupid stuff. We don't put up with bullying. Period. That will get you banned. Where you can't. You make them watch me, but you won't be typing. And they don't miss nothing. Trust me. And just because you don't see them, don't mean they're not there. Oh yeah, we've missed y'all. Like I said, we've been. we knew before. I don't know. You pretty quick on blowing that microwave up. Uh, yeah, we don't put up with bullies. That's one I don't like a bully, especially on a computer. I'm talking about if you're that big of a bully, go find you a local bar. I'm pretty sure there's somebody there that would oblige you and rearranging some of your teeth. Yeah, there's lots of reports of Bigfoot west of Dallas, and Fort Worth. As a matter of fact, you got the Fort Worth monster, Lake out at Lake Worth. I've been out there, and I haven't actually seen the one they call the Lake Worth monster. I don't believe because they said that one was white, but I found sign. I haven't seen one there, but I found sign. Well, let's see here. Yeah, I did some investigation in Ohio, Oklahoma, uh, 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 Wyoming. Believe it or not, there's stories, and matter of fact, Oklahoma and Wyoming have a lot of legends. And then from you got in uh, Oklahoma, you've got Oma. That's what a lot of them call it. Which is the grass man, and I think that legend goes all the way up into Ohio. That is what they call a gum tree. And I was actually thinking about that now. That kind of tree specifically. Native Americans used to use the gum tree. They would take a little limb size of a pencil, break it off, kind of twist it around so it makes the end kind of frayed out. They would actually use that, the Native Americans, years and years ago, and settlers, to clean their teeth. They would use it for their dental hygienists. That's what's odd about this tree, this gum tree. I can't say Bigfoot's cleaning his teeth, but it's just funny. I know for a fact that the Native Americans, especially, used to use that kind of tree to do that with, and here all these big. It's just the size of the chunks that were took out of that tree is what's amazing. I got to get a closer up picture. You can see the width of whatever's taking the chunks out, and you can tell their teeth. They're probably an inch wide. You can tell they see the individual hunks where the teeth have raked down it. Uh, okay, you ain't right. All right. Any other questions? Well, I said I can't say for definite it was Bigfoot. I just know I found Bigfoot sign around there, and I've never come across that in the woods before. And now I've had that, and now I've done got called by the logger that's uh logging his property. There, I know for a fact there was no trees done in the area. He told me where he was cruising back, marking the trees that they were wanting to cut out, where he found some more. And I know for a fact there wasn't none beforehand. He just found these yesterday. No, I haven't heard of her. I, I don't need glasses. I just can't do two things at one time. You know that. I can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. Ha 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 ha. You funny, Vamp. You just wait. I'm gonna teach. Vamp has a big dog, y'all. Um, that she calls my son. His name is Satan. I'm gonna teach him some more bad tricks. Like he eats stuff that he ain't supposed to eat, like the carpet in the house. um, I've come to believe that's a marker for other tribes, troops, or Bigfoot, whatever you want to call them. I said I call them tribes, or just one. I believe that's markers of another clan that has done marked that areas. That's where they're living. I believe that's a marker to let other ones know, hey, look, you can pass through here, but this is our place. That's what I believe it means. Now I could be totally wrong. No. Okay. It's a good question, Jason. I don't know. That's why I do what I do. I'm trying to find out more information. I think it is a whole entity into its own thing. I'm not saying it's one or the other. I think it's something evolution. It went its own way. Look at how many different species of humans before we got to man now that came along. Are you still? Yeah, I don't too much lean towards the dog man thing. Uh, I've actually been coming across some reports and looking into some stuff where I don't know if it's a whole nother species or whatever, but these things I'm talking about, I don't even have a name for them yet. I was talking to W about that. I'm getting reports of a Bigfoot looking creature, but it has a bear like head on it. I haven't personally seen it yet, but you know, some of the people that I've talked to, some of them, I trust what they're saying because you can tell when you're face to face talking to somebody. And I found the sign of a Bigfoot or some large upright walking creature. When I say large, I'm talking about over 9 to 10 feet tall at least. That's abnormally large to me because when something's that big, the sign it leaves behind and the way it leaves the sign behind, it's a massive creature. Mm, let's see. Thank you, Bass. Uh, Graham, I don't know nothing about Man Bat. That's like I didn't realize, and we made fun for a long time. Me and another guy, y'all know who he is. I'm just not going. I don't like throwing names out there, but like the Bat Squatch, we made fun of that for a while until we actually started doing a little. Somebody brought some research to our attention, and there's actually a such thing as, believably, a Bat Squatch. I have not seen it or whatever, but yeah, there's even a such thing called a Bat Squatch, but I haven't heard of the Man Bat. But like I said, that like for 3 months, sometime I didn't have any contact other than cell phone calls to Lakea and Vamp, stuff like that. No computer, no Wi-Fi. I just got away. Man, what are we talking about? Five. Okay, I'll buy y'all a bigger ladder. See there, you always have to make sure what you're talking about. See, a raise. You didn't say a raise in money. You just said a raise. So I'll buy you a bigger ladder. All right, I give y'all a raise. All right. Property X is doing pretty good. I've done what I wanted to do there, and I'm kind of leaving it as a like a refuge right now. You just don't want to. Most people, they'll just keep going out there and they'll just keep going and poking. I don't want to run these animals, these creatures, animals, whatever you want to call them, off. I just want to learn. And if you keep repetitively going into a wild animal's habitat, sooner or later they're going to do two things. They're either going to leave or they're going to get pissed off because you won't leave them alone, and they're going to try to make you leave them alone. So I haven't been out to Property X in a shit. It's been a good while. A good while. I've been so busy going to other places and doing other things. I just haven't had time. I still have trail cameras and stuff like that set up where I just left them because I'm trying to get them used to it. Maybe we can get a good photograph or something. YouTube, Brian. Oh, I got some places that make Property X look like kids play. Like I said, I got a lot of videos that I can't put up because of the way YouTube is right now. They won't even let it go through upload, because when they go through and check and it sees anything that has to do with it picks up on a video that has to do with anything it recognizes as a weapon or whatever. That's the end of it. It stops the process right there and tells you this video is. I forgot how it says it. Basically, though, it's this YouTube is not suitable for. This video is not suitable for YouTube. Okay, Brian. Uh, about Birdman. Well, dude, go down and get my email and email it to me or whatever, and we'll see if we can't get together, because I've heard a little bit about Birdman, but it's very, very slim. I try not to shy away from anything, but there are certain things that it's not my forte. I can't fly, so I can't follow it. So no, YouTube hasn't always been this way. That's what I was saying. Gun channels right now, anything that has to do with any kind of gun channel, even a cleaning video of how to properly clean a weapon, all those channels are being hit. There's been several that have been on YouTube for years. They have actually been took down. I'm talking about where, they teach you the proper way to handle a firearm, whatever. Those channels are being took down. So, I like talking. Y'all like doing this right here. So I don't want to do nothing right now that'll get the channel jeopardized and being took away from us. So, yeah, there's several things. Look, the Four Corners area is a hotbed of. I'm talking about whatever you can think of. The research, I guarantee you, there's somebody out there with a story of it. Everything from aliens, Bigfoot, Dog Man, Lizard Man, the dinosaurs, the T Rexes. There's all kind of crazy crap going on at the Four Corners. What are you talking about, Vamp? What did you do to your spaghetti? I didn't know Google did that. When did Google do that? Because I can search stuff right now and it still comes up, I think, or it did. I ain't searched nothing. I ain't thought about it. I have to go check that out. Good night. All right, we're going to take two more questions. What did you send her? Didn't know that. Uh, well, the chair is no more. While I was gone, Miss Lakea sabotaged my chair. And the beast in me, we kind of had a little accident about 5 months ago. It's back at the vault. It's got to have a little bit of TLC done to it. I'm actually, I don't want to say what I'm doing now, but I've got another vehicle project going on. I think everybody's going to like. You ain't got no business except for my business. You little snothead. I tell you, I'm going to get you. You just wait. I'll be there a couple of days. I get you. Yeah. But I still got my Zippo. Mm-hmm. Told you I'd get you back. I don't really fear anything about the Bigfoot and stuff like that. That's the whole thing. Now, I don't take this the wrong way. When I'm out in the woods, I feel safer than when I'm in the middle of a city or gridlock or whatever. I'm at home there. Now I'm not trying to say I'm this big bad macho. I don't get scared. No, I I don't get scared like most people. Now I do get antsy. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, worried, and I guess most people uh take that thing that they call fear. A lot of times it's not fear. It's called unknowing. It's all because you don't know what's going to happen. You think it's automatically fear. No, it's your natural instinct, fight or flight. And unfortunately, mine's always been I stand my ground because that's what I was taught. You never run. I don't care if it's man, beast, or what. You don't run because that's the worst thing, especially in the animal kingdom. That's the worst thing to do. Even you can take dogs that have been around everybody, the friendliest thing, whatever, and have something happen, and you take off running, that automatically kicks in their animal instinct. That prey runs. They go after it. Your biggest thing is remember always keep a calm, cool head. Try to. It's like playing chess. Figure out so many moves ahead that something's got to work. But no, I don't get scared out there. I just don't. I feel more comfortable out there with the animals than I do around people. People worry me, and like I said, I don't get scared. I get worried. Uh, Me worried is not a good. We've established that's not good. Uh, I didn't call her no short head. I called her a little snot head. That's all right. You just wait. I'm gonna teach Satan to do some. You just wait. He's gonna chew up all your makeup stuff. You just wait. Dinosaur. You talking about in the Four Corners area? There's stories of the mini T Rex out there, and just a T Rex. They even got the several stories of what is the one that flies? The crap. What is it? Y'all tell me what the name of the dinosaur the pterodactyl. That's it. Oh, I don't know. It rode so fast I didn't see that. You talking about ultra infrasound? I think I've been hit by it a couple times. I can't say for sure, but Bigfoot. A lot of people don't believe in, don't think ultrasound's real, but there's several animals like the lion, I'm trying to the leopard. There's several big cats I know of. I think the polar bear uses that they've figured out that it uses too infrasound. That it's basically like a little stun. It confuses you and gets you disoriented enough to make you do stuff that you shouldn't be doing, and that could be the end of you. A rooster. Cock a diddle doo. Yeah, see, bass. I told you. See, that's what I'm talking about. People don't realize. Keep going out there and not. It, you you got to do a lot of research in your area and stuff like that. That's what I try to tell people before. Look and see what the accounts are, because you may have an area where the encounters were real kind of miss okay, like it walked up to my tent and bumped it, and then it went away, or it just ran across the road. And you got some where it stole my dog, it killed my dog, stuff like that. You know you got stuff that's killing, you got something that's killing stuff. It's not being friendly, so I don't think it's going to be very friendly when you find it. That's what I tell people: when do your research, because when you go looking, you might find something that you didn't exactly want to find. GTO, yeah, Lakea likes her jokes. And that's the other thing. Just because something growled at you, I'm not saying you didn't get around one, but one of the most especially in the dark, where you can't see, one of the most terrifying sounds there ever is a frightened raccoon. That little dude can make you think that it is a freaking grizzly bear or some kind of crazed animal, and it's just a little damn raccoon trying to get away. Yeah, I've actually did some research in North Carolina, up a part. I can't remember the name of that county over there. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's why I try to tell people, before I go into a property, I've done talked to the property owner several times. I've got written permit. I do it. The kid got me to doing this years and years and years ago. You get written permission because you never know who else you're going to come across. Because when I was in Alabama, I think it was, I like to got ticketed because I was on this guy's property, and what got me there was they kept thinking there were poachers out there killing. He had a where he was raising deer to gather their urine because they processed it and sold it to hunters. Now, a lot of people don't realize that there's places like that. You got a company called Code Blue that's known worldwide for it. Well, this guy right here, I think, owned his site was called the Black Widow, where they harvested deer urine from when they were in estrage. Well, something was coming through there, killing a lot of his deer herd, and he's brought these deer in by the wildlife people that had been picked up like on the roadside when they were fawns or whatever, and they have been tagged and chipped and everything else. And they're not to be released out into the wild because, like, two of them, people had them for pets. In Alabama, it's against the law to have a deer as a pet. Well, they just couldn't take these animals and send them back out because they didn't know no better to stay away from humans. Well, something was going on in this place and killing them, and causing a ruckus where they thought it was poachers. And I was out doing some investigation and come across two of the wildlife fish and game officers for that state, and the vault. And look, like I said, when I'm in the woods, I wear a full plate carrier with sappies in it, and at least sappies, if not higher, and I carry M4, and I have about 6 to 8 freaking mags with a pistol with 6 to 8 mags. I'm not going in. That's not for say to hunt Bigfoot. A lot of people get that wrong too. I'm not trying to hunt Bigfoot. I'm not trying to kill Bigfoot. I'm more worried about running across like a poacher, and that's had happened several times where you come across a poacher. I mean, somebody doing something not supposed to. A pot field, dude. I had one heck of a skirmish when I up in Oklahoma on a illegal pot field on this man's property, and that's why I carry what I carry, not for the animals, for the idiots I run into, people that are not doing it. But like I said, vault, like, I come across two wildlife fishing game officers, and like I said, I look like I'm going into Baghdad. They didn't know what to think, and like I said, I'm out there hunting for get get real. I'm talking. You come across two people that officers. Luckily, they had heard the rumors and everything because they were fishing wildlife. They dealt with animals, and you tell somebody, "Hey, I'm out here looking for Bigfoot." How well do you think that goes on? That goes over, especially if you're armed to the teeth. They think not only that you're a crazy person with a gun. Sometimes that don't go very well. So, like I said, you got to make sure. And because I had that piece of paper from that man giving me permission to all his property, that's the only thing that saved me from a very, very stiff fine because it wasn't a hunting season at the time. That saved me from a stiff fine and saved me from a poaching charge because I had a loaded weapon on private property that these people didn't know who I was. But because I had that written permission, that thank you, Lakea, I get every time before, like I said, before I go out investigating, I talk to the landowners or the person is in charge of that property. I get written permission. I do that way before I go onto the property. I just don't go out. You don't know how many times I've come across people that have been in trouble because they went on this person's property. Oh, I had heard all this activity about this activity, and I just had to go see for myself. Well, you're breaking the law. You're going on to private property, and in some states, I can name off Alabama, Mississippi, and part in Arkansas. There are certain places there that have these laws on the book called rustling laws, and they can legally shoot you after dark for being on their property, just being there. So, in some of these places, in these rural areas, like I said, you get greedy. They greet people with guns. I'm talking about, that's it's not a wise idea. I'm sorry, I hadn't even been looking at chat. I've been talking. Yep, Lakaya, I'm actually fixing to end it right now. I thank everybody for coming on. I didn't mean for it to go as long as it has. We got started kind of late and talking and everything. Yeah, I've shot an M1 Garand several times. I own several M1 Garand. Uh, used to, if you belong to the NRA, you used to get a chance to every year they would bring out Garands that had either been used in combat or new ones. You had a choice to buy either or, and you could buy like a Garand that was documented to be used in whatever combat situation, whatever. And I own several Garands. I'm a big follow. I enjoy and love our military. Uh, for the simple fact, if it wasn't for our government and our military, we couldn't be doing what we're doing now. I wouldn't be able to do what I love to do. So I'm a firm. I stand behind our troops and our military. I don't necessarily agree with everything our government does. Which everybody don't like everything, but I'm a patriot. I'm an American. So, uh, but yeah, we're gonna call it a night, and I thank everybody for showing up. Sorry it's been so long since I've been away. Won't be we'll be doing this again really soon. I've got some other videos and stuff that I'm working on, and like I said, I'm actually fixing to go back to the loggers, and because like I said, while I've been on here, he's texted me twice. And two of them had photographs of some stuff, and like I said, I've got to get back with him, and like, it takes me a day to get down there, and then I've got to get with him, do everything. That's another day, and depends on what I find. If I stay, how many days, and it takes me a day to get back to my location. So, all right, everybody, I've enjoyed it. Missed y'all. And like I said, y'all need to tell everybody, subscribe, and make sure your notifications turn on because I got some stuff coming down. I haven't seen it nowhere else on YouTube and stuff. So I'm gonna say it like this: I haven't seen it before, and I don't think you have either. Unless you go in the woods a lot, you think you're gonna be interested in it. I appreciate it, and good night to all. And we're fishing to shut this bad boy down.